Hey everybody, it's Jason. Welcome back to Frank's Homestead. And I just want to share a little talk about when it comes to hunting and harvesting those great big animals. When I was a young boy, 35 years ago, I started hunting. And that's all thanks to my dad who got me into the sport. And all I could think about was getting up, oh dark 100, running into the woods and trying to get that great big buck or that great big bull elk. And then I would have the bragging rights. I could brag to all my friends and show it off in big pictures. And you know, I've done okay with hunting. I haven't got that great big 6x6 bull elk or bigger, and I'm okay with that. And here's why. When I was young, I would tell my dad, yeah, I can't wait to go get this big animal. But my dad told me something that I remembered my whole life, which was, remember one thing, you can't eat antlers. And at the time I really didn't understand at the ripe age of 15. But as I hunted more and harvested more animals, I started to understand that, yeah, harvesting a mature animal that's male, such as a bull or a buck, is a great thing, but it doesn't have to be the biggest thing that you can go after. I've noticed that when it comes to hunting, the medium to smaller range sized animals are a little easier to harvest if that's your main goal, to go in and harvest meat for your home. The bigger the animal is, the more smarter they are and the harder they are to find, and you know, they didn't get big by being dumb. So keep that in mind if you're starting out hunting for the first time. And you know, if that big one does get in front of you and it gives you a shot opportunity, by all means take it. Who wouldn't? Bigger animal does equate to more meat that you can take home. But if you're truly in it just for the sport and just after the big mature animals, then you know, go for it. But as far as harvesting just for meat for your home, I've learned that it's easier to go after the medium to smaller animals. And not only that, they taste better. I've harvested even these 5x5 bull elk here that I've gotten. They were a lot tougher when I processed the meat versus, let's say, a spike bull elk or a cow, even for that matter. And the same goes with deer. I've harvested some big 170 class bucks, whitetail bucks, and the meat, once again, was tougher than, say, harvesting a legal doe or a smaller 3-point or 4-point buck. And so as far as it goes for me, I hunt for the sport, but it's primarily to put food in my fridge. And so if I am allowed by regulations to harvest a spike bull, I will do it if it steps in front of me. They're easier to find, for one, because they hang out with the cows, and the herd bulls don't pay them any attention because they're too small to try and take any of the cows away from them. He's too busy trying to run off all those satellite bulls that are mature enough to have a herd of elk. And so when it comes to quantity of elk, for example, in Idaho here, the Fish and Game would like to have a 50-to-1 ratio. That's 50 cows for every mature bull is what their target is. And so it's easier to find 50 cows than it is that one bull, that one big mature bull. And generally speaking, like I say, if you find the cows, you're more apt to get a spike. I've gotten a couple of 2x3 point bull elk that were in there as well. The herd bull didn't pay them no mind because they're still too mature, but yet you know, 250-300 pounds of meat come off of that. So I'm just trying to make the point that if you're starting to hunt for the first time, try not to get too obsessed with going after just big antlers. Now if it's a buck only season or a bull elk only season and there's no cow season or no doe season, that's a different story. But once again, still, The smaller ones have a tendency to be more abundant and not quite as smart as the large ones. So it makes your hunt a little easier. The other thing, when you're going after just antlers, if you're just starting out hunting, they can be pretty intimidating when you get one in your sights, because it's hard not to look at those big antlers, and you could possibly lose your focus. And a lot of people call that buck fever, and so it could be a little overwhelming. So if you go after a smaller animal or even a doe, it's a little easier to regain your wits before you pull the trigger. So if you're new to the sport of hunting, I hope that you'll take into consideration what I've said, and it'll help your hunting go a little smoother if you don't concentrate on those big antlers, because once again, you can't eat the antlers. And to all the hunters and soon to be hunters, good luck with your season.